Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing a business masterclass. We're going to talk about the basic principles of starting your own business. Myself, Philip Mayer, I'm a lecturer at Oxford Business College. I've helped hundreds of people start their own business, either self-employment wise or becoming entrepreneurs. So I have my own experience as well, and I have my own product-based business in the past as well. But our discussion today is going to be with Sonia, so she can talk about from her own personal experience. Sonia, would you like to just introduce yourself to us a little bit?
So my name's Sonia Ahmed. I'm also a student at Oxford Business College. I'm in my second year of my degree. And while I've been studying, I've also opened my business. I opened it. We had a post office for 10 years. However, we changed that during the epidemic, and during the lockdown, we opened up our own post and packing business. And it's coming up to a year in May. And since we've opened it, we have looked at the ins and outs, and we've combined it with COVID and all the laws, regulations, but it's going really well. A lot of planning had to be done and a lot of adjustments had to be done during the epidemic. But because of the previous knowledge of having the post office, we've used that and we've established into it.
The first question we want to look at is, have you got what it takes? Now that sounds like a very personal question, but we're talking in a generic sense. So to know what business skills you require, we talk about things like you need to know, are you a manager? Are you a salesperson? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you an administrator? Are you a learner? Are you a thinker? Are you a worker? So, Sonia, do you think you have most of those attributes?
Well, I can say yes to it, but also there will be some attributes that you might not have the confidence in. First of all, you need to believe in what you're building. What the business you're putting in front, the business plan, you have to believe in it. If you believe in it, then everyone else will believe in it. So you have to have the confidence, the knowledge, and the product that you're selling, you have to have the confidence in that product. And if you don't have some of those attributes, you can also delegate and hire staff that will help you combine to make it successful.
Excellent. Sometimes people say, yes, I've got all those skills, but normally what they're saying is they have all those skills, but not in equal measure. So they're going to have some things stronger than others. And you gave a great answer, Sonia, to say that where you have the gaps, you bring in other people that maybe have better knowledge of those particular skills than yourselves.
I've been quite thankful. The stuff I lack in, it's actually a family business. So I already know the staff, they're my own family. So I know the way I need to get along with them and how we can do it as a team. And because it's a family business, we help each other and we keep each other's back. So it's nicer to have someone that you know already than not hiring someone that you don't know. But it comes with its good and bad moments in both, really.
Why do business succeed? So sometimes we say, sort of slight negative connotation, why do businesses fail? So most business startups will fail, 90% will fail within the first year. So there's a very small percentage that succeed. So we want to look at some of the things that make businesses successful. And there is a list of a few things, but I think the main thing is, if you can see the list there, the main thing is cash flow. Do you want to tell us a little bit about cash flow?
You have to be very strict when it comes to the cash flow. Making profit is easy and it's quite tempting to start splashing it out. But you need to consider that once you've opened the business, it can go, each year, each month can be very different when it comes to your customer. Even now during the epidemic, no one even would have thought COVID would have come here. So with the cash flow, you need to be strict and make sure you're paying all your bills and all the outgoings are going on time, and then using that cash flow that you're making profit to combine it and establish into it more. But you have to be very strict when it comes to the cash flow. If you're not, you can start going into a deep end that I'm sure no one wants to go into. If
we go slightly negative for a second, the most common reason of business failure is lack of cash flow. And we're talking about any size of business, whether it's your local family business or a huge multinational. And look at some of the big companies that have closed recently. That is where people are still making their profits on paper, they're still profitable, but they can't pay their bills, which is exactly what you were saying. So if you can't pay your bills, you can't cover the money, you can't cover the expenses of running your business. That is why businesses have to close. So what I'm saying is, if we go positive a second, if your business can generate enough money to cover your overheads and give you a little bit of money at the end of the day, then you've got a business that can work. And you've had experience of that happening for you.
Yeah, but you also have to have the patience in it. You will have a day or 6 months that you will be not making any profit at all. And that's where the key is. You have to have patience in a business in the first year, because your first year won't be as good. There'll be a lot of outgoings going to establish the business. It's only in the second, third year it will start getting better. But it's patience. You know, they say patience is the key to success. That's how you have to have it in a business as well.
No, I agree with you with that patience. I think you need patience and funding. If the money's not coming in from your sales, then you need to have a funder somewhere. And if you don't have the best way to run a business, I always say, is having the money that, like we were having this discussion before, you were saying about whatever profits you make, you reinvest in the business.
Yeah, you have to reinvest. And also it's the knowledge that you have. So obviously in our business, we had a post office for 10 years. We were working with the government, and opening up your own post and packing shop and being the competitors of it, it's a gamble, but you have to make sure it's the audience, your customers, what you're providing. You need to know the knowledge about it yourself, and having the cash flow. And you know, when we were a post office, the government provided everything, so you wouldn't realize how much is actually going out. Whereas having your own business, you have to pay for the equipment, everything yourself, and that's when it hits you like, oh, we have to do this. But you have to make sure you keep it, hands are tight, and you get along with it, and you just have that patience, really.
A lot of the information we're covering today, you'll be able to get in a link. Are you ready to start? The main point of that is to think about the people that, you know, if you are ready yourself, and or do you have people to support you in your business and your business venture. So I'd like to ask you if you could name 3 people who can support you and what you do.
So going back to it, the business that I've opened up, it's a family business. So the rock of the business are my parents. They're the one who finance it financially. They're the one who put their hard-working money into it. Then we have my brother, who comes up with the ideas. He does the research. He gets to know what customers want, what the locals want in the area. And then we also have my sister, who looks at the rules and regulations of what the law is and how to get everything sorted. So those are the 3 people that are the people supporting the business. But we, as a family business, we combine. So I also have experience in retail. So my customer service skills are really good. I'm a people's person. So they use that to the advantage, and I'd be more at the front of the counter, whereas the back of the house would be like my sister and my brother, who would be bringing up the ideas, researching what the changes have been made, what can we make, how can we make it better, what else would they be doing? They'll be also looking at the costings of it, how to make more profit out of it, what more services we could be providing, or what we're lacking in.
Superb. Excellent. But just while you were talking, something came to my mind, that people watching this might be thinking about their own support network. Because when people start in their own business, it can be a very lonely job. You know that from yourself, and I know that from myself. When you're running your own business, it can be very lonely. And sometimes you feel, where do I begin? So what you want to think about, like you've just said, think about the support network around you. The friends, family, people that already you work with, you have contact with. Oxford Business College, you might have fellow students that you can work with. And think about your network. So this is a general point for the audience of what people watching this. Think about the people that can help you realize your dream, because it's unlikely that you can do it entirely on your own. Even if you're working on your own, you still need to bring
Nowadays,
the expert services. Like you were saying, you said your brother is an expert on administration, and so you have the different experts, and your parents are the finance.
We're working together. Whereas if you're opening a business on your own and you're hiring staff, you need to make sure the staff you're hiring are believing in that business as much as you are.
Of course.
it's like having your own little baby. It's like our little baby there that we are actually taking care of and growing it.
Yes.
Whereas it's difficult there will be some individuals out there that actually are doing it on their own, and that is difficult. I'm quite lucky to have it as a family business, so we're supporting each other, and we believe in it more, and we know as a family we're putting all our hard work into it. Whereas differently it can be when it comes to someone who's doing it on its own. So it's a challenge, but you need to just focus on the staff that you're hiring, that they're the right people to go to your business, and they will also be the face of your business as well. So you need to make sure you're hiring the right people in it.
You're right, because when people are working for you, they're representing your organisation, aren't they?
And also the local people around your businesses. So we're in an area where we have lots of locals that we ask what are they looking for. We've also been looking at market research and looking around to see what the area is lacking in. So having that market research does help as well.
Thank you, Sonia. So one point I want to think about is working from home. Now this has obviously become very current with the current circumstances, but it's always been a consideration. Particularly when you're starting your own business, you think of some of the huge companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, they all started from like a home-based business, from a very small starting. So I'm just saying that people start their own business often from home. But so just thinking about the pros and cons. So one of the pros are, the advantages are obviously you save on renting another property. Also, you might be able to claim some allowances, tax deductibles. Need to speak to your accountant about that. I'm not an accountant, but you find that you save on travel, you save on time, you have flexible hours. But you need to be, some of the things you need to think about against that is you need to have self-discipline. We know all the people working from home at the moment, you know, when are you working, when you're not working, that sort of thing. You cannot close the door when you're working from home. And also working alone, sometimes you can't bring people into your home.
It's good to work from home. A lot of people have started their small businesses, but they do need to realise they are missing a big market where there are people out there that are not using technology.
No.
Older generation, they want to go in and use the services, and it's nice to have it then. By having your face on High Street as well and in the local areas is a lot better. Because that's business that will be coming through the doors constantly, whereas online there's a lot of competition out there, and there's a lot more you're saving up on rent and stuff, but advertisement online, that will be costing it a lot as well, and you have to make sure you're competing against a lot of big brands out there that are online sitting there. Whereas if you're a local business and you're doing it from a premises, you will be guaranteed that the locals will actually come to you and support you as well.
We're now going to look at some aspects of planning, business planning. So the things to consider are things like the market. And the market, when we talk about market, is the term market is a generic term, sounds like it's a mythical beast out there that's going to generate me money. But what we mean by market is customers.
Yeah.
And I sometimes say the market can be divided into three. You've got customers, past, present and future. People you supplied in previous times, people you're supplying now, and people you might supply in the future. Those are your customers. So what sort of customers do you have in your business?
So the customers, we have a lot of locals, but then we also have businesses out there, small businesses that they have sold products online, but they want we've got a service called Pick, Pack and Post.
And where are you based again?
We're in Jericho in Oxford. Okay. It's called Post and Packing. Pick, Post and Pack. No, yes. Pick, Pack and Post. So it's a service where we provide where there's people out there that are actually doing full-time jobs and they've got a business on the side. They can give us their products, we do all of it for them, or we charge us a small little price, and they're still making profits out of selling their product on the side, as well as doing a 9-to-5 job. So we're doing a lot of services like that. We also have the Oxford Business Press right next to us. Excellent. That are our customers that come to us on a daily basis. And we also have the local business communities out there as well. So it's all the students, the older generation that want to go to a post office that they used to and they've been doing for years, that come to us as well.
Do you have any competition as such?
We have a post office literally about 5 minutes away. It's on the road. It's on a main road. However, they're a government post office.
Okay.
The Royal Mail post office don't have a good history anymore, do they now?
Yeah.
If you guys know about it. But they are competition, but we've done our market research and we know what they lack in that we provide the service in.
Okay, excellent. What I'd say about competition is it's good to know what competition you have, but not to be, some people get obsessed with it. You don't need to be obsessed with the competition as long as you know what other people are offering, and what you can be offering is going to be different, better, whatever knowing what your customers want and why they're coming to you is the best form of embracing competition.
And also don't be put off by the competition.
No.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the customer service you're providing, and it's about the services. Even if you do have similar services to them, it's okay. It's what you're bringing to the table. Customers, yes, they will go for that service, but they will also remember good customer service that they had at that premises. So even if you're a 5 minutes walk, they might be willing to come to you on that 5 minutes walk and come to you instead of the competitors.
Okay. Just can you explain a little bit about your pricing strategy? How do you price your products? Oh, but not you. No, you don't price product. How do you price your services? Let's see. How do you charge? How do you calculate your charges?
So we calculate it against the courier. So obviously we're post shop. So we have 6 couriers that we work with: UPS, DPD, APC, Royal Mail.
So it depends which courier you're using, which price you're sending.
We are cheaper than a post office posting internationally. We have looked at the price margins, and we also do a combined posting where the more you post, you can get a discount from us. Whereas if you went to a typical post office, you wouldn't be able to get any discount. So we do look at that into it as well. So
I presume you've got the cost from the courier and you put your margin on top. Is that how it works?
It's a bit top secret, isn't it? I can't put that on the table now.
Okay, all right. Now, I just want to think into, you don't need to say your specific how you do it, but what people need to be aware of with their pricing. Obviously, it might seem obvious. I say business is very simple. You might say, why are we doing this video? But if you can buy for £1 and sell for 2, it's a very basic principles. If you're buying for X price and you can sell for Y price, which is a percentage, you don't want to tell us what the percentage is, I understand, but a percentage above the cost, then you've got a price that can be viable.
However, I would give a little tip. When you first open a business, don't be too greedy. No. You need to get your customers in the door. You need to get that footfall in the door. Once you've got that, and once the customers know what you're providing, they will come to you no matter what. Okay. So you don't go from A to B in a big high jump. Don't do that, because that's when you're not gonna make profit the first year. You will get that one customer in and they might not come back because of your pricing. So when you do the pricing, be cheaper than others so you can get that foot flow in. Once you've got that, then you slightly start to raise the price. Don't do it all at once, because I swear to God, customers do notice that as well. So that's a little tip. Don't be greedy at the start. Okay,
good point. Thank you for that. I was just going to ask you about marketing. How do you promote yourself, Sonia?
When we first opened, we opened during the epidemic, so it was quite difficult. We will be, once the lockdowns and epidemic dies down a bit, we will be going to the local radio, and we'll be getting in touch with the local newspaper as well. Because of where we were, and it was a post office before, we got to keep the same customer flow coming in because we provided the same. So we didn't let the locals get affected. However, when it comes to the market research, we go to local businesses. We've emailed them, we've contacted them by phone, we've gone there in person to show them that we're here and these are the services we're providing, so they get to know us a lot more.
Excellent.
Online advertisement. Yeah. It's all about technology nowadays. Excellent. So online advertisement, billboards, we've also done. And just telling your friends and family, word to word. Exactly right. I mean, marketing and promotion is only telling people, I'm here, come and buy from me. That's all it is. Again, we sometimes dress it up into clever language, you know, the 5 Ps, the 7 Ps, whatever. Yeah. But it's all about people knowing what you're offering
And just like you said, telling your friends, family, putting a little bit of some, putting it online, just telling people, social media is a big one these days, just telling people what your product and service is, and I'm available for business.
And you don't even have to pay for it, Adam. Nowadays,
social
media, you can use social media. If you use it in the right way, you can get so much customers. Instagram, Facebook, those social media platforms, you can advertisement for free, and you can get friends and family to tag your business into it, and that's free advertisement you're getting there.
Absolutely. The best form of marketing, promotion of your products and services, satisfied customers, because your customers will tell, like you said, putting reviews on, positive reviews, telling their friends and family about it. That is your best. Even the huge companies with huge marketing budgets, they'll tell you the best way of promoting their product service is by satisfied customers.
And
promoting
this generation that we're at, it's all about technology.
Definitely.
You know, in the olden times, it was a lot tougher. You would have to put an ad in the newspaper, flyers, leaflets, and then you wouldn't get, you would spread the word, but would you get as far? No, not that quickly. Whereas technology, use that to your advantage, use that in the nowadays time,
We're now going to look at a couple of aspects of the planning which I think are very key for any business to plan. We're going to look at SWOT analysis, and then we'll look at USP. So SWOT analysis is when you're looking at the strengths, weaknesses and the opportunities and threats of your own business, which often, if it's a small business, if it's yourself plus 1, 2 others, it's almost like a personal analysis. So just to explain the 4 points again, the strengths is a bit like when we said earlier on, have you got what it takes? What strengths, what things do I have in place as an individual, as a team, if you're working with a team? The weakness is a bit like the opposite. What are the gaps that I need to fill? The weakness is a bit like the gaps I need to fill. And then the opportunities, what can I achieve? What can I keep saying what can we achieve as a business? And the threats is what going to get in the way of that.
Yeah.
So just briefly, Sonia, I mean, you told us a bit about this already, but let's just see a little. Can you tell us a little bit about the strengths of your business?
So the strength is the team I work with, my family.
Yep.
So dedication, they're dedicated to the business. They want it to do well. They want it to grow. So that's the strength. When it comes to the platform of what we're providing, we are meeting up all the expectations of the locals in that area of what they're lacking, what they have to walk to the centre for. They can come and get it from us. So the services we're providing, the times we're providing it, and the days we're providing it are a lot better than our competitors out there as well. Weakness would be going from, think of the gaps between your team. Maybe there's a few gaps. Maybe you have to bring people in, outside people. Well, working in a family business, there is a gap of you end up taking the business home onto your dining table. Try not to do that.
Yeah.
Also, personality clashes.
Yes.
Even in family, you can have personality crashes. It can,
of course.
And having that strictness of formality at work, because home is different to work. So that is a downside when it comes to a family business, where can your parents be as strict on you as working in a formal job? It's 50-50, but I guess it's all about having that strictness of it and making sure, keeping the two separate.
Okay. Opportunities?
What
can you achieve as a business, do you think, going forward?
It would be nice. Our aim is to go from one branch to opening up another branch in Oxford. And that will get our business to start growing and everything. Also, we want to take on small businesses and support them when it comes to their post. And all the new businesses that are opening, selling products, we want to get their business onto our business.
Sort of increasing the offer that you're doing and what you can do for local businesses. And what are the challenges that you face, the threats from other people, from?
So going from the name post office to a post and packing, the older generation weren't very familiar with it, and they thought it was a complete different aspect, but actually it's the exact same thing. The name's just different. So the older generation, because they're so used to going to a local post office and doing it, that was a bit of a weakness that we had to break into the older generation and get their confidence with us. Because just by the name, people come. Seeing the name post office, was like, yeah, let's go there.
Excellent.
But having that taken away and replacing it, it was a struggle in the first couple of months, but once giving their confidence, letting them try out your services and knowing that, yes, they're exactly the same, that helped a lot.
So what I hear you saying, Sonia, is sometimes the challenges, the threats can be turned to an advantage to some extent.
Yeah.
You become more independent. So Sonia, what we're looking at now is what I consider one of the most key aspects of any business plan or any strategy is the USP. So USP stands for unique selling point, or which I prefer is unique selling proposition. But I'd explain why. When we say unique selling point, it sounds like it's one thing, where the proposition sounds like a collection of factors. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to ask you for yours in a minute, but just to explain the point, a lot of people will say, it's price. I'm the cheapest, I'm cheaper than this guy, I'm cheaper than that guy. Just be careful of that one, ladies and gentlemen, because if people are buying from you purely because of price, there's usually someone else who will do it cheaper than you. If they're buying from you because you're giving a great value for money, a great service, product, whatever, and it's reasonable price, that's a different thing than just being on price. So just giving you a bit of context, Sonia, what do you think are the unique selling propositions or points for your business? What's special about you and your business that your customers come to you?
So it's all in the shop title, post and packing. We post and we can pack it for you. We also provide the packing equipment there as well, but we also provide the service of leaving it with us. We'll post it and then we'll email you your tracking number and stuff. So we provide that extra service. And it's all what the local area is lacking in, we provide that service. Gas, electrical bills, payments, posting internationally, because Oxford is made out of international people. People are nowadays posting a lot more than normal, and having a cheaper price internationally with us and having 6 couriers in the same premises without you going anywhere else, that's our plus point. Whereas other post shops out there, post office even itself, doesn't provide all those couriers, and all they're like in small businesses spread it out all over Oxford. Whereas on our premises, you find all 6 couriers. You can choose whichever one you like that suits you best.
Excellent. So it sounds to me like you know exactly why your customers come to you and why they keep coming to you. And I'm sure you speak to your customers. You said you're very customer friendly. So I'm sure you speak to your customers regularly to find out what they're happy with and maybe what you can improve as well. I mean, this is what a lot of people do to find out what they're... And I always say the best proof of why you're special is because customers are coming buying from you. We can talk all you like, but actions speak louder than words. When people buy your product and service, it shows they have faith in what you're offering, and you've given us very good examples of that. Yeah,
but also it's like going out the way when it comes to your customers. Having your own business, you can go out the way and help them the extra mile. It can be basic, it can be a small thing like a person struggling packing a box. You can go out the way and help them out. Whereas if you went to a company or if you worked for a company, there would be requirements that you can just follow, and that's your job title. You just do that much. The customer does it all. Whereas having your own business, you go out the extra mile and that customer remembers it. And that's what brings them back as well. So having that kind of one-to-one moment, and you can, that being strict in your business is good, but having that kind of confidence and, a people's person kind of personality, it can go a very long way.
Excellent. Thank you, Sonia. I just wanted to, because I'm just thinking again to put USP into context. If you're thinking of your new product or service, this is for the audience, anyone who's starting up their own business or they're thinking of starting a business. Now, it's very unusual that you're going to have a totally unique product or service that's totally unique and no one's ever done it before. It does happen occasionally, but it's very rare. So 99 times out of 100, you will be doing a product or service that someone else is doing already. This is why I go on about the importance of USP, because it's so important that you understand why people are buying from you and why they will buy from you and why they continue buying from you. And I think you've explained it very well, Sonia. I just wanted to put that in a bit of context.
Thank you so much.
While I think of it, because we're just you probably noticed me flicking over the pages all the time. This document that we're working through is a very good document. I've used in many seminars over the years. And we're going to make this document available to you digitally by a link. It can be available in the chat. It's going to be available to you in the link. The other things that we're going to send to you, ladies and gentlemen, is a business plan template and a cash flow forecast template. Again, these are very good documents for you to use, to use and develop your business. One point, again, while it's in my mind to mention to you, when you're writing a business plan, who writes your business plan? I might ask you this question, Sonia. When you've written a business plan or any strategy for your business, who's done it? Who's written your business plan in the past?
So my dad is the one he's done a business degree himself.
Excellent.
He's combined his personal experience of working with other companies, opening his own company and being in business for 18 years now.
Excellent.
He knows where the profit is, where the disadvantages are, where the advantages are. He's learnt his lessons, so he knows how to pray. So this time around, when me and my brother and my siblings, we decided to open a business, we had his knowledge on board, and he's the one who guided us to make the business plan, to make sure your product, your customer focus, your audience, just not to focus on those things, but also look at the financial side of it, of how much we'll be going in and out, and consider everything before even opening up a business. Opening up a business is easy. It's easy to have a look at those local businesses that are doing well, but the amount of time and effort that goes into that business, it can end up being 24 hours, 7 days a week.
You're right, making it work is the key
making
thing,
it work. It's not as easy as opening it up, but you have to have that dedication for the first couple of years yourself to be in that business, to get it to that flow. And if you do go into a bad moment, it's okay. You will come out of it, and just have that confidence and positive mind. Mainly be positive about it. It's okay if something's gone wrong, learn from it, carry on, but don't give up and don't go into that loophole of, oh, you know what, it's better to close it all off. It might not be. It's better to just, fight back and get onto it, and go, even use your locals, your support system to help you out as well.
Thank you, Sonia. So I was just going to say, you gave a great answer about writing the business plan. You said your father wrote it for his own business himself. Because what some people do is they ask someone else to write their business plan for them, which is, you're shaking your head, is right,
No.
it's a mistake. Because it doesn't matter if you get help, from an accountant or a professional business advisor to help you write your business plan. But the point is, the process of writing a plan is more important than the plan itself. The actual process, knowing, you talked about it before, about viability, can I make money with this product service, all these factors, by going through the process yourself, that is so valuable. I would say that's more important than the plan itself.
Business plan is your foundation, though, isn't it? It's like your little baby. It's easier to read a book and tell them how the story was, and it's different to write the book, because you know inside out what you've written in it.
Exactly.
So it's rather you write your own business plan, because you would know where you've written it, how you've written it, and you've considered and thought about it. Whereas getting one written up, it's easy to write it up and read about it and then show it off. The knowledge-wise of it won't be as strong as writing it yourself.
Excellent. Yeah, so the point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, just in case there's any misunderstanding of what I just said, I'm not saying don't get any help to write your business plan. That's not what I'm saying. The reason why you're on this video, perhaps, is watching this video is for that help. I'm not saying don't get any help. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, and what Sonia is saying, like, yes, get help, fine, but the main driver of your business plan, your strategy, what you're going to succeed in, is going to come from you. Get help from others around you, friends, family, professional advisors, yes, but it's mainly got to come from you. And that's what's so important. What we've been talking about today is about the basic principles. Have I got a business to start at all? The other question you want to think about is, what sort of structure, what sort of business are you going to set up? So there are a few options, things like self-employed, sole trader, there's freelance. They all come under the same title from HMRC. They all come under self-employed, or you can be limited liability. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail of the pros and cons of those right now, but all I would say is, when you are setting up your business, get some professional advice from an accountant, from a professional business advisor. Get some professional advice about what you should set up. And if in doubt, I would suggest start as a sole trader, start as a self-employed first and foremost, and only go limited if you have to. Some people have to be limited. You know, you talked about working with your post office previously with government contracts.
Yeah.
Sometimes to get local government contracts, you have to, for certain work, you have to have a limited liability company. So if you have to, that's a different story. If you have the option, start as a sole trader. But as I said, I don't want to go into too much detail on that right now. I think we'll come to a close now. What I'd like to, just before we close, just to sum up what we've been talking about today. So what we've been talking about with Sonia, we've been talking about, have you got what it takes to run a business? What are the main reasons why a business succeed? Are you ready to start? Do you have the support network ready to support you? Do you have the plan in place? Have you considered all aspects of the plan? The market, the customers, the competitor analysis, the product pricing, the SWOT analysis, USP, unique selling point, financial viability, and what sort of setup, what sort of business are you going to set up? Sonia, thank you very much for your time today. I think you've given a lot of information.
And also, like, you know, when you're opening up, they have to look at everything opening a business. Like, you have to have the confidence, and you have to make sure you do all your research before you even go to a premises and open your doors to someone. So the planning of it is
so important.
Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Don't start doing it and then find out you've done it the wrong way. So when it comes to the law, the way you have to financially do it, make sure you get all those little bits right. If you get your foundation right, the building will be fine altogether, literally. So you'll be fine on that. But thank you so much for having me today.
No problem.
And sharing my business with you. And if I can do it, you guys can do it as well.
Exactly. Thank you.